Hello everybody, just wanted to do a quick intro for this upcoming podcast with Samurai Shotgun. I just want to say thank you guys so much for coming, Mateo and Bryant. We had a great time, very informative, and I just wanted to give you guys their upcoming dates. So July 22nd, Samurai Shotgun is performing at the Masquerade in Atlanta, Georgia. I just wanted to give you that, and also you can find their music and their social media on our description here on the YouTube channel, so please check that out. For House of I, we have 3 shows in August. The first one is going to be August 3rd at Data and Delray. We're playing with The Great Fear, so please check them out. August 23rd, we're playing at the Benz in St. Petersburg with Palomino Blonde coming from Miami to play the show, so awesome. Also, we have the Jackettes, which are St. Pete natives. And then August 31st, we're playing at the Blue Note in Tampa with Blood Moon Boogie, Mr. Handsome, and Neverless, and Satch. So please come and check that out. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, and thank you for subscribing. Please please invite your friends. Peace.
Everything will be in the description.
Thank you. Podcast. Today we are sitting with our friend Samurai Shotgun. What's up, fellas?
Hey. What up?
What's going on,
guys?
What's
poppin'?
You guys just came from Atlanta, played a show at the Crowbar. Unfortunately, we played the same night.
It happens. It happens.
But I guess actually, like, to start off, I want to say something that, like, watching you guys play is definitely like a huge inspiration, not only in like the musical, and you know, like what would you say, like just the music itself, but also like your performance live. Like you guys are so fucking intense, and like definitely now that's something that I've taken from you guys, because your shows are they're very energetic and they're entertaining as fuck, and that's definitely something that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do with us.
Appreciate it. You know, that's love right there.
Yeah. I mean, you fucking doing crazy shit like climbing the rafters and shit. I've seen fucking.
It happens.
Falling over on speakers and shit.
Yeah, it's like some people do it as a gimmick, but it's just the music. It sounds cliche, but we all feel it. You can see all of us moving, or see it in our faces, and. You know, just go ham.
It definitely doesn't feel like it's not natural. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can tell you guys are fucking in it. Like, you guys look like you're having fun up there. And that's, like, what people like to watch. I've noticed, at least, for example.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, okay, so for example, like, if you saw that, you wouldn't feel like that's a gimmick, right? Unless, like, I guess they were doing it in a weird way, but you would be like, oh, they're just into it, and you enjoy that, right?
Right, definitely.
Okay,
like,
so
I'm laughing with them, and like, look at these guys.
Yeah.
Because we had, on one of our songs, we had Queen of X and Senyo from Bangarang on the song, and it was like a circus up there. It was just like, it was hella fun, you know. And then Senyo's rapping, Queen's dancing, everybody's playing. I'm looking at Keys, and like I start doing this dumb dance, and he's doing it too, and we're just looking at each other, you know, just cracking up, and like the crowd's laughing. Like, it's a good time.
Yeah,
just have fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. and it's funny because, like, Brian, like, I think the first time I met you, I was like, man, this guy's quiet. You know, but then when I see you on stage, you're like a completely different person, man. It's funny.
Yeah, he's a madman.
Yeah, it's I guess all of that's like stored energy. Like when I'm out on stage, it's kind of like you're alone, but not. It's like you're at peace with yourself. You're at peace and trust with the people around you, and everyone that's there. You know, like with Tampa especially. You know, we don't really have fans. We have friends and family. You know, everyone there is people who we met like the 8 years being together. So, you know, it's kind of like just hanging out, having fun.
Yeah. Well, those people, it's funny that you say that too, because you think that they're not like fans, but they are fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're willing to spend money on you guys, for example. They're willing to help support you. So, like, in reality, those are fans, right?
Definitely.
You know, like, you come back and you have, you know, you guys have a freaking full show. Like, that's those people are coming out to fucking support your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So yeah. All right. Well, I have questions for you guys.
you know we're ready.
Because I don't really know your backgrounds too much. So where are you guys from exactly?
Well, I'm from Queens, New York, born and raised. I was born in Jamaica, Queens Hospital. That's pretty specific.
I think it's like that.
Breakfast. I'm just kidding. But I moved to Tampa, Hillsborough County, like a few blocks away from Liberty, when I was 13, and I moved to Wesley Chapel when I was 15.
Okay. Any specific reason why you ended up moving here, or?
9/11.
Really?
Yeah, both of my parents worked on Wall Street, so both of them were actually there when the towers went down.
Oh shit!
And
Like they were in the city?
Can you pull that mic up closer, by the way?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is a little low. And this is very interesting.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So my mom, my father, and also my aunt, she was supposed to have a meeting in the building the day of, but she was turned down. So while she was going back to the subways, she saw the planes hit the building, and she's like, "Wow, dip."
Damn.
That's crazy.
But something happened at her job, which
Oh.
caused like some sort of security breach. So it's like they split into 3 separate branches, one being in New York, one being in Tampa, Florida, and one being in Shanghai, China.
So she chose. Was she able to choose where she wanted to go?
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
I don't
Yeah,
think-
China would have been a reach, right?
Yeah.
You would have been fluent in Cantonese, definitely.
Damn, that's freaking crazy, dude.
That's
Fuck.
crazy. We'll edit that out.
Yeah, if
Just
you
in
want,
case.
we will edit
All
that.
right.
They'll somehow catch a whiff.
Official secret information.
Yeah.
Dude, so like that stuff in the news recently about the all the first responders and all that stuff in Congress, bro. Isn't that shit crazy, man?
John
Like,
Nuts.
Stewart is an
John
MVP.
Stewart killed it with
Yes.
that. Like they deserve it. They've been getting screwed since it happened. You know.
it's weird, man. Like that's when I feel like that's like the perfect moment when people on both sides can get together and agree on one thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like everyone is saying like never forget and all this bullshit, but then like when it comes down to it, there's still some sort of like political ideology or agenda going on there, and it's just like what's the question here? You know what I'm saying? Like
Definitely.
I don't know. It's sad, dude, to see that.
Yeah, no one is gonna say what really happened or why it happened.
Right.
You know, it's so many conspiracies and ideas and theories. It's insane.
Which ones do you believe?
Like it's tough because there's so much that the higher powers hide from everyone, and it could be safety, and then it just could be treacherous.
Yeah.
I would love to think that you sacrifice thousands for millions, which it's the right thing to do, but still lives lost.
Yeah.
So it's it's like that superhero thing. Do I save these 5 people or these 500 or 5,000 people?
Right.
It's like you gotta choose your evil too at the same time.
It's a weird thing when you feel like there, like I feel like the government has, I guess the power that they really have, or that they kind of hold over us, is that they're protecting us from like outside forces, right? Which you can argue is probably true. You know what I'm saying? Like if it wasn't for our military, you could argue that we're probably taken over by maybe I don't know. I have no idea.
Anyone.
There you go, China.
Yeah.
Boom. That's a great example. China. You could argue that for sure.
Yeah.
But and then it's weird, and I'm not a Trump supporter by any means possible, but it's weird to hear him talk about the what is it, the military industrial complex, like to hear him talk about that shit and say that he's afraid of it or he's scared of it. It's
Yeah,
just
that's crazy.
it's like, okay, well, I guess he knows something that we don't now.
Clearly.
And if you don't know, like China almost has residencies in almost every country
No, I didn't know that.
with building things.
And buying realty and shit like that, right?
Yeah, and once they get on the docks and they start building and shipping in whatever, they usually make deals with those countries, and so like they're spreading like crazy. And it's like you gotta look into that. It's like a whole rabbit hole.
I've heard about that, and I've also heard about Russians, like that there's a lot of like Russian spies coming in just like pretending like they just want to
Right.
I guess come over here to. There's actually a show about that shit too. I believe like. A Russian person kind of integrates into like American culture and just like learns information about us and sends it back to Russia. Like,
I believe it.
I believe it too.
I think any country can do it. You know?
we probably do that too. Let's be honest.
But you know, like America's like the big bad whatever. But Russia and China they're everywhere.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, we'd be long gone. But if one of them became the new like America, the new power.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
wouldn't either.
China's really close. Like they basically control everything. Like manufacturing, a lot of stuff is made from China.
Yeah, it's
A lot of
nuts.
stuff.
Well, then, yeah, I guess it really just comes down. I don't even know. I guess it just comes down to. Well, this is an argument for capitalism, right? Is that capitalism feeds creativity and it's just like, and I'm thinking like as a communist country, like they control everything. So it's like you could argue that that's a better format for that, but it's just like. With creativity, you have like iPhone, you know, like that kind of like those kind of like, or Elon Musk, for example, coming out with technology. It's like you could, I don't know, I just don't know. That's interesting though.
Yeah, we went down that
I know.
real
just
quick.
happened.
First 10 minutes.
Well, I would imagine like I feel like your lyrics are probably very like there's probably some political stuff in there, right?
Yeah. It's funny because we always get compared to Rage Against the Machine. And, you know, we only have like probably 3 political songs.
Yeah.
You know,
They were
but,
like mainly political. Is that why people do that?
I think so because it's like Force of the Shotgun. That was like our ender for years,
Yeah.
and everybody would go crazy. Ginsu is like that, and then we have a newer song called Icy Red, you know, which is more about the people, you know, black and brown, you know, and fighting for justice for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but we have a lot of, like, we're nerds at the same time. We love, like, comic books, anime. Like, it's a mix, you know, but people always put us in that political category. I guess because the tone of our voice and our musicianship, the instruments, and, oh, they're kind of like Rage, and he's screaming and stuff. It must be, F Donald Trump and all this stuff. But.
Yeah, I think also it would probably be hard for someone to see like a band like I guess like a more I would say well, that's the thing, like your new album isn't necessarily like hard rock as like it was in the first album, but like that kind of style of like the more harder rock behind like someone rapping on top of it, they're always going to think Rage Against the Machine.
Always.
Yeah, regardless of the lyrics.
You know what I'm saying?
Always.
And that's why your second album is dope, because I feel like you guys kind of ventured more into like R&B.
Yeah, it was a mix.
Yeah.
It was smoother because we had like Runnin', Booty Go, Riptide.
Thrill Seeker.
Yeah, Riptide.
Yeah.
See,
That's our favorite song as
Yeah.
a collective.
Yeah, I remember watching you guys at Lucky You, and I was like, oof, that song is fucking great.
It makes
Yeah.
me feel like I'm on the beach or near the ocean. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
I'm glad that you guys are like that. Like I'm glad you guys are diverse, because I feel like you could easily just roll with that style of music and just do that. You get what I'm saying with like the hard rock shit. You know what I'm saying? But you guys have like gone into different styles and stuff like that, and that's great. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's what's gonna make you progress as an artist. You know?
it's a gift and a curse. 'Cause,
Why?
I mean, we do everything from punk, hardcore, alternative, hip hop, R&B. Mix it, you know. But it's like at first, promoters or whoever, they didn't know where to put us. Like on, do we have them open up for this band or this rapper or whatever? But we've opened up for
the Toasters.
yeah, ska band, the Toasters.
Okay.
Then we opened up for Nappy Roots, a country rap group. We opened up for Blood on the Dance Floor,
Hardcore band.
hardcore electronic band. Andrew WK, party rock band.
That was fun.
Like it's all
Yeah.
over the place, but it's dope at the same time because we can almost tour with anybody.
And that would be that's your advantage right there, is that can happen. Someone can put you on a show with an artist that you like that maybe not be your specific genre of music, but you guys can still at least like get those fans as well that like you know something from you guys as well.
Right.
I know, I find that as a big advantage. Like I get what you're saying, but like I've heard this a lot where they say that bands that tend to do simple, like poppy stuff, they always become famous, but then they don't have a long career afterwards. It's always the bands that grow and they have like a diverse set of music that have long-lasting careers. And I mean, it makes sense to me. Think about pop artists. I mean, I I mean,
Yeah, they're here and gone. It's
Yeah.
pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
It's like
pop.
It's like 2 albums and then they're
Yeah, that's
gone.
it.
So
And, they have the pressure of continuously making those hits, you know, and they go crazy like Britney
Yeah.
Spears.
yeah,
yeah.
shave all your hair off.
Yeah.
I mean, the only argument I can give is that they at least had that platform at one point where they were they were successful. Like
Yeah.
you could say like, oh, she's had a fucking awesome career compared to like what we have so far, for example. You know what
True,
I'm saying?
but like you said, the
Now
longevity
now
artist,
she's gone, really.
it's like, okay, you have Deftones still pulling in thousands of people. And then you have, this is totally different genres, but Ja Rule. Not going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Especially
Even-
after that fucking.
yeah, he went through the 50 Cent beef and all that and yada yada. But,
Got wrecked.
yeah, it depends. It's a different game now, though.
Yeah.
You know? It's hard. There's a lot of 360 deals where, you know, you may get everything, but then you have to pay out the label and you're losing money. You know, they'll put you on a platform.
What's that? What's the 360 deal?
360 deal. It's a lot of rappers have it. Like they get the money, they get the advances, and then they usually have to pay like a certain percentage higher. So they're basically
Like
losing.
an interest, basically?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it's a lot of people were signing to those probably like it was high from like 08 to 2015, 2016.
And then they realize how silly.
Yeah, but I mean some people just want it. They like, okay, I'm broke, I'm in the hood. Let me just
Do
get
this.
popping and I'll be good for a little bit.
Well, how would you approach that?
Nah, not doing it.
No.
Mm-mm.
So is there any point? And I know we're kind of like I do want to go
He
back.
hasn't even answered the first
I
question.
know. But this is
Oh, yeah,
this
what
is
was the
good.
first question?
Shit's crazy.
This is good though. This is good because this is like kind of the
Shit's
shit
crazy.
that I
it
wanted
was
to
just
get
where are
into.
you from, Mateo?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
That was it. He answered, and then we ended up
And
talking
then it was-
about conspiracy.
Conspiracy theories.
The attention span of musicians.
Fuck. Now I forgot my point. Okay. So yeah, it was basically like, what are you willing to give? Like, what would be the furthest you would be willing to give, like a label or something like that? Like, are you ever giving up your rights to your music, for example?
I don't want to, nah.
Okay, good.
Nah.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
That's good.
And there was Fat Joe, the rapper.
Mhm.
He was trying to help a new school rapper to, get him all of his rights and copyrights and publishing and all that, but didn't listen to him. And that rapper doesn't own anything.
What happened to Frank Ocean too?
Yeah, he got out.
He did get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? He got his the rights back?
No. He doesn't own the rights to like his first 4 albums or something like that, but he had a contract.
Everything
Yeah.
after that.
Everything, yeah. So
And,
he
like-
released like 3 or like 2 like really quickly.
Yeah.
Just to get it over with. Yeah. It's still good,
Crazy.
but yeah.
You guys have to listen to the Insane Clown Posse interview. It sounds crazy.
Oh, okay.
It's
Did you
so
say
good.
interview?
It's so good. I'm gonna send it to y'all. It's like it's got to be like an hour.
Why is it good?
Like they're geniuses.
Really?
They-
I find that hard to believe.
I know, right? But it's like just real quick.
Go for it.
Insane Clown Posse. You see them, juggalos, whatever. Yeah, guys, rappers wearing clown paint. Okay, like they basically just like ran through the industry and created their own lane. Like they were signed to Def Jam at one point.
Really? I didn't know that.
And Def Jam forgot about them, and they were in Insane Clown Posse. They were waiting for that contract to be up, and then they released the album like the next day. And then Def Jam didn't own any of it.
Oh.
It's great.
I will say this. I respect the shit out of them because they did create like their own fan base. They basically were like the early pioneers of doing everything on their own, DIY, and basically not having to worry about labels and shit like that. Yeah, for sure. I definitely give them that.
Oh yeah, I definitely respect them. I'm not big in their music. I saw them live at Orpheum, live show.
Killer?
Must see.
Really?
Must see.
They just rap though, right? They don't perform, right?
Yeah, they just rap.
Okay.
But it's insane.
It's
Like,
Insane Clown Posse.
It was right. Right. It was at Orpheum. They have the strongest merch game I've ever seen. That whole back wall at Orpheum, they had every shirt size, every color, different designs. They had hats, scarves, jackets.
It's like literally impossible to be like you didn't want one of them.
Right. It's insane. And then they had to deck out all of Orpheum with like these giant black trash bags because they throw Faygo everywhere, so that they don't stain the venues. Yeah. So it's crazy. They like shake up the Faygo 2 liters, twist the cap, let it go. It's like a rocket. It's crazy.
Science.
Like we were up on the balcony, and it was still shooting up. It was insane.
Damn.
That sounds crazy.
It's definitely good to see them at least once.
They're I'd
watch 'em.
I have I get a weird, but they're not like racist or anything like that. Right?
No,
Okay.
no, of course not.
Like one of them is like Native American.
Okay.
Yeah, they're cool. They came up with both sides, black and white.
Okay.
So.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely like. I've heard some of their stuff, man. I'm just like, what the fuck's this?
Exactly.
Like what? Like I love that. There's like a line that people make fun of about him. Like, what are magnets? Like, what the fucking like?
Oh yeah, that song. And it's like they're just clowning, like literally.
Yeah.
And 10 million views.
That's true.
Nuts. They're having fun.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
wonder if they really believe that shit.
What are magnets? How do those work or something like that?
Like,
Oh my god.
the fucking magnets. Oof, how do those? I don't know. It was fucking.
But
Probably something that will come up like on a conversation where you
yeah,
just stone out your mind. It's
yeah,
like,
that too.
Dude, how do these freaking work?
Yeah, it was basically like he was saying it was magic and not fuck. Well, yeah, it's a song, Magic, right? It's
Something like that.
Yeah, it's like basically it has nothing to do with science.
That video is
it's just
ridiculous,
magic.
too.
The best.
It's fucking hilarious. All right, where are you from?
But
Mateo?
yeah, back to the first question. Wow, 20 minutes. From Columbus, Ohio, East Side. Grew up there, and then came down to Tampa for college. I had some friends that moved down here first. Went to International Academy of Design and Technology. It's long to say. Usually I say IDT, then they say, "What's that?" So I have to say it anyway.
Yeah.
So,
That's good.
it's no longer around. Met a lot of great people there. I feel the school is a scam.
Really?
Yeah, they're not in business anymore.
Does your degree still count towards anything?
Nah,
Really?
Of course not. Yeah,
Oh.
of course not.
Why? Because
I
what?
went for audio and video production.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't a big fan of audio. Loved video though. So I definitely want to get back into that soon. Whether it's shooting or editing, I find joy in that.
That's cool.
But met Keys there. That's how me and Keys met. He's the turntablist and Samurai Shotgun keyboardist. And my homeboy moved from Ohio. He moved first. We lived together for a while. He picked up the guitar. And then me and him, it was a 2-piece. I was doing vocals and he was playing guitar. There's one song out there, the first Samurai Shotgun. And it's called Clouds. And it's just acoustic and I'm rapping.
That's cool.
It's on MySpace.
How old is that?
Ooh. Samurai Shotgun formed in 2009.
Oh wow.
And then Keys
but all
joined.
you guys though.
Nah.
No.
It was me, Dana, he was the guitarist, Keys, which played bass. Because he did turntables, but we needed a bass player, so he just used one finger whole time. All of our shows, recordings. And then Brandon, our drummer, we met him at Guitar Center. So in the drum department.
Of course.
Yeah.
You saw him playing. You're like, hey, do you play music for anybody? Do you want to be in a band?
That's how it was. He's like, yeah,
funny.
come through, jam. We'll see if we connect. And we had a string of shows. Played the old Orpheum. Never played Crowbar. Played a few other spots like in town and country, like small little bars and pubs. And then played skate park in Tampa. I remember it was August, and then Dana quit. It's like, then Brandon quit. Actually, no, Brandon quit first. He's like, I'm out. So he quit first, then Dana quit, and I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. So
Was it devastating?
yeah.
Did you feel like it was over? It's all over.
Well, I never really wanted to start a band.
Yeah.
Like I came up as just an MC, a rapper. Like I started writing at 11. Started freestyling at 14 and battle rapping in 15. I was battle rapping like grown men. And me and my squad, we were young. We were demolishing people.
In Ohio, right?
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. So, it was fun. We joined these battle leagues and everything. And it was like pure freestyle, like not written, like off the top. So that was dope. But, Dana and Brandon, they left. we're all cool. Brandon lives in North Carolina, I think, and Dana's still here. He's like a workout instructor. So it's crazy. Yeah. But it was a rough time for Keys. He had to go back to Virginia because he's from Richmond, Virginia. And then it was just me here. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to get the band back together somehow. And, you know, it eventually came. I started doing a lot of solo stuff, Prince Golden. And I was finally throwing out material. And then who did I meet first? I started working at FedEx. And I met Jovan, our drummer. And we worked on the same belt. And he's like, yeah, I'm in a band. Well, it's not really a band anymore, yada, yada. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, we should just...
What year was this?
This had to be 2011.
Okay, so not too long afterwards.
Late 2010, early 2011. Probably 2011. Yeah, because that's when I was at FedEx. And then our boss, which I knew from the scene, Cooley, he knew Tyler. And I've seen Tyler in the scene. He was in another band, and I've seen them a couple times. And he was like, yeah, he's getting ready to leave that band. He wants to do something else. And me, Tyler, and Jovan hooked up, went to Jovan's house, jammed. I hit up Keys, like, yo, I think we got something, bruh. And he was like dying up in Virginia. You know, he's like, gotta get out of here. Huh. And then Tyler went to Sam Ash, met this guy playing.
In the bass session.
Yep. Swooped him up. Because we practiced, we were jamming like maybe 6 or 7 times before Bryant came through. And then he's like, yo, found a bass player. Like, oh, dope.
And the first day we jammed, we made Force to the Shotgun.
Yeah.
Damn,
we were making stuff in minutes. Like that first album, it was all jam.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, that sounds dope. Let me write to it. That sounds tight. Let me write to it. Turned into songs that quick.
Did you guys all have like similar inspirations?
It's all different, but we all knew mostly of the artists that we all liked, that each other liked.
Yeah,
you know?
Everything kind of like we all started listening to each other's music. I asked everyone around, hey, what are you into? It's like, yo, float me a mixtape. Like I asked each and every individual person. So I got to know like Dillinger's Escape Plan from them. I was heavy into Jamiroquai instrumental music because I was like born with otitis media. It's like inflammation in the middle ear. So I was raised solely on like jazz and instrumentals. But I was introduced to a lot of rock, a lot of hip hop, like soul, funk, a lot of
everything.
Stuff. Yeah.
And we love all of it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it worked out pretty dope.
Yeah, so when you guys actually got like the band as it is now, that was what, 2012-ish?
Yeah, 2012. And then we did our first like big show at Crowbar.
August.
Something like that. I want to say it feels like October for some reason. The flyer's online. If you like Google images like Samurai Shotgun, it's like you gotta look, but that flyer's there. Now we were talking about this earlier. I've been to Crowbar a few times before that, and I talked to the owner, and he's like, you want to do a show here? This is Tom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I want to throw a show. He's like, I'm not going to give you a weekend. I don't trust you. Because, you know, you don't want it to bomb. He doesn't want it to bomb. He's a businessman at the same time. So he gave me a Thursday. It was a Samurai Shotgun, Lewis Jr., who's a rapper. He's still popping, doing his thing. He just released the album. The Jackals, which are now
The Rosewoods.
Oh,
I've heard of them. Yeah.
And who's the fourth band?
Rising Down.
Rising Down.
Oh, Rising Down.
Yeah, that's how we met Rising Down. And we did a show on a Thursday. It was like 130 people came out, and Tom was impressed. And that's how I started becoming like a small booker there for like local bands.
So basically you put together that show, and then he saw that and was like, oh, maybe he can put together more shows for me.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I've had good ones. I've had bad ones. Every promoter takes L's.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, because that was our first introduction to anything here. Really was first trying to book the Crowbar, getting told no, which respectfully was understood. Like now it's very understandable. Doing the Battle of the Bands, which is where we met Emmett, our bass player,
because he was in
Jordan Esker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did y'all battle the same day?
Yeah, we beat you, bitch. We didn't win, but we beat him. We were in second place. We lost to Infinite Eights.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were always smashing people.
Yeah. Yeah, they're you know, they have a fucking solid ass sound, man. You know.
And the following, because I know it was based off of like musicianship, crowd participation,
originality.
Yeah, it was a few quite a few things.
Yeah.
It was pretty dope.
Yeah, it was definitely a good lineup of bands for sure.
Yeah, because there was, all in all, because there was like 4 days of like 4 or 5 bands each day.
Yes.
So everyone was like crunching down.
Yeah.
To like that final day.
I will say, I think we were the only band to play 3 different sets the whole time.
Interesting.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I think it's something that we had talked about afterwards. Like, damn, like
that's dope.
Because we caught. I think. How did we know that they didn't though? Did we? Go to them?
I think I recognized songs that they played.
And I think we saw maybe like each of them individually already or something like that, and we were like, yeah, we didn't play any of the songs we had played the first show.
What year was that? 2013?
Probably.
Maybe? 13 and 14?
Was it? I feel like that was probably like, yeah, I get maybe 12?
Maybe 12, 13? Yeah. That sounds about right.
It's crazy, like, I feel like, and I've said this a lot recently, but like I do feel like right now is like the start. Like we're starting as a band now, which is a weird thing.
It happens.
But it's true.
They say most bands don't like pop until they're 8 to 10 years in.
Yeah.
And we're there.
Well, you guys, I mean, that's actually one of the questions I wanted to ask is like, the main reasons, like why did you guys decide to leave Florida and go to Atlanta?
The main reasons, we outgrew. Like there was nothing else for us to do here.
Yeah.
We opened up for almost everyone at almost every venue.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't done the Ritz or Janice yet, but we did everything else. We did GMF. We sold out Crowbar for album release party. Oversold it. Yeah, it just felt like a small pond.
The reason why I asked that is because this is like a question that we have as well, right? It's like with technology nowadays and social media and all that stuff, is it really necessary to move to another city that has a different scene?
You don't have to move. Your social media skills have to be on point. Your emails have to be on point. But Atlanta, there's so much going on because the entertainment industry is there. Hollywood is there. You know, they shoot 70% of movies there now. And Jovan, he works at Best Buy in like the center of Atlanta, so he sees all these people. Like he met Primus.
Yeah,
you know?
he was telling me about that.
Free tickets, VIP tickets, and we met his wife.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. He's like, I don't know anybody in Atlanta. You guys want to come out? He's met Idris Elba, 21 Savage, Migos. Like it's crazy. There's a cast
crazy.
from Stranger Things.
Oh, shit.
Everyone lives there.
In Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Childish Gambino. He lives in Stone Mountain. Well, he used to. He's from Stone Mountain, where we live at.
Okay.
Yeah.
I loved it there when I was there. Like that. I mean, we didn't really get to see that much, but just what we did see, I was like, this place is fucking dope as shit. You know, like. Okay, well, getting back to it anyway.
You guys killed that set, by the way.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
shit.
smashed.
Thank you.
Like, I love just the dancey vibe because you had people dancing, bruh. I'm like, yes, yes, these are my people.
That was such a fucking amazing. That was such an amazing crowd, such an amazing night. Obviously, I wish we could have stayed for the whole thing, but it was amazing. That was like, that made that whole tour. Like, to be honest, like
And
it
that was
really
the last
did.
day too, right?
Yeah.
That made and like even the 6-hour trip afterwards, you know, to make it in time for people to work and shit like that. Like, it was. I think, it was just like literally getting back home. I was just like, man, that was. This is the reason why I do this.
That's a good ender. Yeah, because you have bad shows like we said, and there's great ones.
Yeah. That was. And I'll talk to you off mic about this anyway. But yeah, so I guess I think that idea is really smart because that makes sense that even with social media and all that stuff, like there is a limit, right? Like you do want to be able to build the fan base physically in these cities, you know what I'm saying, by living in them. And then because I don't know, I mean, do you guys think you'll move again, or what's the plan?
I mean, I don't think any of us want to stay in Atlanta in the long run. Like, I love water, I love the beach, I love palm trees. I got to be like next to the water.
And that's not there at all, right?
Nah.
No.
Ugh.
Is it like a very city life?
Cities, mountains, hills. Okay. Yeah. It's okay, but we're there to execute.
Yeah, you're there for a reason.
Yeah.
Like you guys are all there to accomplish something.
Yeah, we're there to do work.
Yeah.
You know, we've met a lot of great people, and we're still meeting people. The city's huge. There's people everywhere flying in from here and there, and it's insane. But I feel like we haven't even like tapped Atlanta yet, you know?
Yeah.
And we've been there. I've been there 2 years. Keys, Tyler, and Javon have been there 3 years.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, how do you, like, was that hard? Like, I guess getting there and trying to like start playing shows, like, was that difficult?
Not really.
Because you kind of have to, like, it's almost like starting over, right? Kind of?
It's just like starting over, but luckily we had toured up there before we moved up there. We probably did like 2 or 3 Atlanta shows before we moved up there and met some people, you know, shake hands, kiss babies, and we were kind of not set, but we had an in.
Yeah, you had a foot in, basically.
And, you know, that's always a beautiful thing. And luckily, we're not like douchebags or anything like that. So we're pretty chill. We're super cool with people. You know, like,
you know, that sounds bad when you have to say it, right?
Yeah, right. But you know, and that happens. Yeah. You know? So
I don't think we've had anyone on here that we don't like. So
true.
Yeah, we wouldn't have you if we didn't like you.
Exactly.
But that's interesting though, because that's definitely like, I've heard that a lot. Like people say like, oh, but you don't really need to go anywhere. Like you can do everything here. You know, that like that's a farce. But I'm like thinking, wouldn't it make more sense to move to a place with a bigger scene where there's more opportunity?
And like you don't have to move. But you need to tour.
Yeah.
At least do the weekend warrior thing, where every weekend you're going somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know, like, all right, let's hit Athens and Atlanta. Come back. All right, let's hit North Carolina. Let's hit Charlotte and Asheville that next weekend and come back. You know, keep doing that as well. And it's just Florida's so far from everything.
It is.
You know, it takes hours to just get out or go over, you know, to the west. But Atlanta, we got Nashville right there, North Carolina, St. Louis,
New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans.
How far is New Orleans?
New Orleans is
It's like 4 hours.
I think it's a little bit further. But it's in the vicinity.
Yeah,
right,
know,
no,
where
I
we
mean,
could.
because 4 hours is Miami.
Yeah.
So that's pretty convenient.
Yeah, because Nashville's like 3.5 hours away.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
So, and that's a music mecca too. More of country, of course, and country pop. But you know, there's still indie bands and hardcore bands out there and hip hop. You know, so
yeah, hit up the right venue and stuff.
Exactly. Find the right promoters.
Would you say you like living there more than you do living in Florida, or you're more of a Florida boy at heart?
I like living more in Florida, but I feel like I couldn't grow here anymore.
Yeah, just like creatively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I love the sunset. They always clown me on the sunset. We have a song called Sunset. But, like, I love the vibe, you know. But
the vibe of Florida?
Yeah. Like personally. Like, I can just chill, go to the beach. You know, I have lots of great memories with old roommates, just playing video games. It's been a good time.
Yeah.
You know. But it's time to keep it moving.
Yeah.
So, and it's only 6 hours away.
It's not bad at all. How about you, Brian? How are you liking it so far?
I like Atlanta, but home is where the heart is. You know, it's like I was growing up here with my mom and dad. Like I built so many friends. Like I've met and made so many friends. Like while I was here, I'm not gonna say I don't have friends and family in Atlanta, but you know, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of miss my bed.
Yeah, that's something that like for me personally, like I just want to leave Florida just because like not even from like a creative aspect, more of just like I want to live somewhere else. I've never done that before. I've been here my whole life.
Yeah, you're almost out. You're getting there.
Yeah.
We're moving in
That's
the right
true.
direction.
That's actually true. And I will say, at least that going from Miami to here was a big culture shock, and
Definitely.
surprisingly enough, even though it's only 3 hours away. But yeah, like I don't know. I just want to experience things. You know, like I feel like travel is cool and all, but like I feel like I could really get something out of living in a different fucking state, you know?
Yeah.
Because it is different. It's very different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Atlanta's totally different.
Yeah.
From Tampa. Totally.
Yeah. How are the people there? Are they nice? Are they nicer generally, or?
It's Southern hospitality, which sounds stupid, but
Because we're more south.
'Cause
like,
we're
yeah.
more
exactly.
South.
But
It's different,
Georgia's
yeah.
the South.
Yeah.
You know, I've never. Of course, there's crazies everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's douchebags everywhere, but I haven't ran into any like problems.
Not like you would here, for example.
Right.
Where it's just like, I feel like the heat just like makes people crazy here.
Yeah.
You know? Like I feel like you're more like there's more of a chance of you getting into a fight with somebody here than somewhere where people are just generally chiller. You know?
Yeah. It's I'm still getting used to it.
Yeah.
Cause like my 2-year anniversary was probably like last week, so
It's only been
Damn.
2 years.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
it's not that long, I guess.
I mean, it's not. We all work out there, and just try to stack up, pay for whatever we need, whether it's merchandise or gear. Like we have a studio in our house now.
Oh fuck yeah!
So-
Are you guys living in the same place together?
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, isn't it?
And it's cheap. That's why Hollywood's there, because the land is cheap. The restrictions aren't as crazy as Hollywood and LA.
Mhm.
So that's why so many movies are shot there.
Mm.
Like we have a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-car garage, yard for $1,200 a month.
Wow.
I
That's crazy.
love telling that to like New Yorkers and people from LA. They get really mad
Yeah.
because they pay like $2,000 for a closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that noise.
Right.
Dude, I could not live out there. dude.
Location, my ass, bro.
Yeah.
And it's funny. We thought about before the Atlanta move. It was like, should we go to LA, Atlanta, New York, or Miami?
Really, Miami?
You guys consider
Why Miami?
It was close. Even though I heard the rock music scene wasn't doing good down there for a while, we're still hip hop at the same time.
Yeah.
Like you have, Denzel Curry and Gunplay, and you had XXX, all these hype rappers, and we would definitely fit with that.
I didn't even think of that, but you're right about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
it
you
would've
mentioned that you guys haven't really played there too much, right?
yeah, we played Miami once.
I played twice.
You played twice. No, then we played 3 times. We played SuperCon.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Like good or bad?
It was cool.
Yeah.
For people who don't know SuperCon, it's a big anime comic book convention. And they had like hella bands playing. It was like 3 days of bands. Like it was like 10 bands a day.
That's pretty cool.
It was dope.
Yeah.
And like, we were doing our thing. There wasn't too many people, but there's people cosplay. There's a guy dressed as Gambit, like mosh pitting to our music, and that was dope. I'll never forget that. He put his stick down and just got in the pit. So that
That's
was
pretty cool.
He's like, hold my staff.
Yeah, we met a lot of cool people there that we still talk to today. And then we played. It wasn't Miami. It wasn't Pembroke Pines.
Delray?
It was Fort Lauderdale.
Oh,
I
Fort
think.
Lauderdale. Okay. Yeah.
What
It's
was
like,
that? O'Malley's.
Oh, wow.
I've heard of the place, but
I'm
I
not
don't
familiar.
Remember that?
Vaguely.
Yeah, that was part of the Florida tour, I think.
How was that?
Talking about
Because that one band played. I can't remember the name of the band, but I know the guy who helped book his name is Reggie. They were like a metalcore band. It was whatever.
Yeah.
It's like middle of nowhere, it's bars. Some people came out.
Yeah.
It was cool, So.
Those are some of those venues, dude. Are like, why are you a venue? Like, why are you hosting local music? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some venues, you're just like, what are you doing? Like, I get you're trying to like bring people out here, but like even the people that live here that are trying to bring people out here are having a hard time, like in just random areas, like sometimes it can work, but you got to be at least close to where
Right.
people live at least.
Because with the old Samurai, the weirdest show I played It was past Newport Richie. I forgot the name of the city, but it was this
Dunedin?
bar. No, it was past that. It was just a bar out in the middle of nowhere. I think the city started with a T.
Tarpon Springs?
It wasn't Tarpon. It was past that.
Damn.
It was crazy.
Tallahassee.
Yeah, not that far.
Forget that.
But we got there. I think there was like another band and like a rapper or something. And the crowd came in. It was like bikers. Then it was like just some hood black people, meth heads, trailer trash, people in suits. Like, it was the weirdest mix. I'm like, what is this? It's like, since this is the only bar in this town, I guess everybody comes here. It was weird.
And it was the best show you played on.
Nah. The stage was small.
And it was the greatest show of all time. That's funny though. Yeah, I mean, fuck, we played our boat load of fucking weird shows and stuff.
Every band's had either like the worst show possible or just like a weird vibe.
Have you heard of Uncle Lou's in Orlando?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I've heard of it, but I've never been there.
Dude, we played there once, bro. And after our set, I think a band was playing too.
What?
I did too.
What?
Yeah, I play at Uncle Lou's too.
Oh, really?
You're insane.
Dude, so there was like two guys. I don't even know what happened, but they were just drunk and they were just arguing with each other. Bro, the guy threw the guy into the fucking glass and broke the glass.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, into the fucking glass of the bar. We're just like...
He I guess picked him up and kind of just shoved him into the glass hard. The glass cracked and everything.
Were y'all playing?
No, it was after.
It was after our set.
I would have kept playing.
Yeah, no, for
like
sure.
make it go harder. Like,
Yeah, but like, fuck you. No, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And then I think like right down the road is Will's Pub. It's like
we played Will's Pub.
Yeah,
before,
it's like nothing, like it's not like in a crazy bad neighborhood or anything like that. It was just like these two drunk guys
It
were
just happens.
acting a fool.
Alcohol, drugs.
Dude, so you probably seen some crazy shit at the Crowbar. Like, what's the craziest shit you've seen there?
Oof. Because, I bounced there, too. I did security. The craziest thing. That's
Sunsets
tough.
and bouncing.
Right?
I love the sunset, but I will kick your ass, sir, if you don't leave the property.
I don't know about crazy. I know one night, it was a crazy night, and there was like 8 fights.
What?
It was insane.
Like legit fights, not just like moshing?
Right. It was like fights.
Wasn't that during ODS? I think I was.
Yeah, Old Dirty Sundays. Like, it was just a weird time. Like, we don't know what happened.
Something
And
in
like,
the water.
It's the heat.
and there was, there's usually 3 or 4 of us. One at the door, one by the DJ booth, and then 2 on the floor, going inside and outside.
And of
I
course,
guess
I missed all of it.
one went to the bathroom, and one was at the door, and then, like, there were so many fights that the local people that always go there, they were helping, like, kick out the people that were fighting.
Oh, wow.
Like, the DJ kicked somebody out. It was crazy. It was insane. That's how many fights there were. And, like, 3 of them happened at the same time. It was
That's
nuts.
weird. I
It was like
wonder what-
one happened outside, and then there was 2 inside. Like, what? And then putting people in chokeholds, and you gotta toss them.
Yeah.
Then people were begging, like, it wasn't even me, and let me come back in. And it's crazy.
Like, dude, you gotta get the fuck out of here.
But Crowbar is cool. It's usually chill. I used to work at Czar. I think this is before y'all moved up here.
Sorry, yeah. Was that in St. Pete?
No, it was in Ybor.
Oh, okay.
It was dope nightclub. It was super fun. It had 3 rooms. Like, one room was like a mix of hip hop and indie, like dance and rock, and then the second room was the same thing, and the third room was this huge room. It was like the EDM room. This is insane. But we had to always throw people out, doing coke in the bathroom, or banging in the alley, or banging in the bathroom, or banging in the club in the corner. People throwing up on each other. Like,
That's cool.
Yeah, once you throw up, you got to go because you're wasted.
Yeah.
One of our security guys got hit with a bottle in the EDM room. It was like a big brawl. They hit him with a beer bottle, and he still had like glass. He was bald, and he had all this glass stuck in his head. It was crazy. It was nuts. So that might have been one of the craziest things I've seen.
That's crazy shit, bro.
Yeah, it's nuts. So
Have you seen some crazy shit?
Shanghai Nobbies. There was like a band called Whiskey Face performing, and there's a song called Pig dedicated towards the Men in Blue.
Yeah, it's called Pig.
And there was some bullshit going on. I guess it was like a bar fight going on, and the whole entire place was swarming with cops.
And they were
whole
playing the
entire-
song. They were still playing.
It's like, pigs, 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 motherfucking pigs.
That was great. It's like a movie.
That
It
is
was
a
like a
crazy-
movie.
yeah.
It was nuts.
Is Adam
Holy
movie.
shit.
And we played Jacksonville one time, and
It was a house
it was
party.
yeah, but it was outside, and the bands were set up next to each other, and we had to match each other. Like, yo, we're gonna play an aggressive song. Okay, then we have to play one. We're gonna play like a love song. Then you gotta play a love song. So we were going back and forth, and I guess we were too loud, the bands, and the cops came. They had their flashlights and stuff, and like they pulled up like right. We were playing, and they were like right in our face, and I was like, I didn't look at them, and I was like still doing my thing, and Tyler like kind of turned around, and the cop was like trying to figure out how to like unplug his gear and stuff. It was great. It was dope. So that was pretty cool.
Just like, I don't give a fuck.
Keep going.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because they were coming. I'm like, nah, keep going, keep playing. Let's just run it.
Dude, you got
Run
some
it.
balls, bro.
Hey.
What are you gonna do, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's fucking funny. We used to play at the parking garage at USF all the time, and I guess because it was like out up there and people played there all the time, like they didn't really give us an issue. But yeah, cops would come up there all the time and just kind of like watch for a little bit and then leave.
Okay.
That was cool. Yeah, that was the only interaction I've ever had. Well, that's not true actually.
If they liked it, that was cool. I feel like they were just waiting for some
That's true too.
Yeah.
to see like beer or something. Be like,
Yeah.
"Whoop, whoop, what are you doing?
Right.
They never. No one got caught though ever doing
What
stuff
were
out
you?
there. There was one time, I don't even know why we even tried to do this, but like she had this studio in right here, not even too far from here.
Oh, studio apartment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Himes. And we decided to practice, do a full band practice in the studio, like in an apartment complex, like
Yeah.
in broad daylight.
I was on the first floor.
And I think we played for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then we just see flashing through the window, and it's like, yeah, I don't really care, but you gotta stop.
That's cool he said that. Yeah.
He's like, it doesn't really bother me, but yeah, you got people around here that don't, and it was loud as fuck. I can't believe we were doing that.
Why did we do that? Who knows?
I don't know.
Hey, for
We
the
had to
books.
practice.
Yeah.
Get your stars and stripes.
So, as we wrap up here, I do have a question that I feel like I mentioned, in just our conversations before, you've given me great advice in terms of music. So, what would you give an up and coming band? Like, what advice would you give them?
Man, there's so much.
Because you've done the booking, you guys have done the playing, you guys are veterans as well, you guys have moved. So, what would you say to them?
I say one thing that I learned myself is to trust, love, and have respect for the process. Like, there's a whole bunch of different things, a bunch of different opportunities. Never rush. It's like, always calculate. There's a blueprint or a format, but it just has to come to you. It's like, even if things don't turn out the way you expected, just think back. It's like, when you first started, have you ever expected to do something like this? Like, have you ever expected to be on the road with people that you call friends or family? You go from doing a free show for exposure to $25. And it's like, shit, I could pay for gas money with this.
Yeah.
And this is cool. I'm doing what I love doing.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people get to do that.
Right. And it's hard. Anything in entertainment is hard. Whether you're ballet, comedian, athlete, musician, entertainment is the worst job to pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we pick it because we're passionate about it. Most of us are. At least, hopefully, 85%.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I would say that. But to, any artist coming up, any bands, singer, rapper, whatever, love what you do. You have to follow through and execute, and you have to push. You can't be lazy.
What do you mean by that, though? What exactly? Like, what?
You have to get out, and you have to try and grind, and there's going to be good times and bad times. You can't let them get to you. Like, oh man, there's only 3 people at my show, and I wrote the greatest song of my life, and even Mars Volta, they performed for 2 people when they were coming up, the bartender and the owner of the bar. I remember them saying that story,
That's crazy.
and look how far they got.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
That is crazy.
And like I said, I never thought I was gonna start a band. I always wanted to have like a Wu-Tang group, just a whole bunch of rappers. You know, that never happened.
Still can't. You still have the possibility if you wanted to.
I mean, I can still do it, but I love the band.
Yeah.
You know, we can do whatever we want musically, sonically, and just have fun. We're all brothers. You know, we know each other very well. We've lived together. It's been a good and bad time. Be prepared for the bad times.
Yeah, that's true though, right? Because like the conflict too, because you know you can have conflict within the band as well, and it's like,
Yeah.
I guess for me, like I've noticed that just communicating as well as possible, making sure that you know hash out any fucking
Yeah, communication is the key.
yeah.
Definitely. Even if it's like, hey, maybe try a different riff, or I'm not feeling this drum fill, or this lyric doesn't sound that good. Even just little stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like bands are family.
It is tough. Like I feel like that was probably something early on that we struggled with was the
because you don't want to step on people's toes.
Yeah.
Like they made this part and they're digging it.
yeah.
You know. So, and I've seen that with other bands, and everybody else is not digging it. Like,
Yeah.
how do we tell this person?
It's so much worse because it comes off really awkward when you try to make something work that's just not working, you know? Just
Right.
because you're trying to be nice or whatever.
Yeah.
I've learned to just ask. That's what I do. I just ask. I'm like, do you guys like this? Like, if you guys don't like it, just tell me because I don't want to play it if you don't like it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just put it on, you know, I just make sure they know, like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get my ass fucking butt hurt, you know?
And we're pretty good with that. It may be something little. Like, maybe change that. And that's usually it. Like, try something else. You know?
Yeah, no big. I can think of something else.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
there's nothing wrong with that, I don't feel.
And we're more victims of our own, you know, our own songwriting. Like, sometimes we'll hear an old song and be like, ugh, I can't believe I said
Really?
that
You
or I
think
played
so?
that. Oh, yeah. The first album, like, here's the problem with the first album. They were writing so fast, the music, I was trying to keep up.
Okay.
You know, so I didn't feel like I put in my 100%.
Okay.
You know, I was just trying to keep up, and we were doing shows, and you know, so some of it was like, ugh. Like if I hear some of those songs off the first album, I'm like, ugh, this is horrible. You know.
That's interesting. Wow. That's funny to hear that from you. Because that's interesting that you say that. I mean, is there something specific that you can think about, like a lyric that you can think of per se?
It's just some of it was just kind of hokey, and I can't think of one off top. And there are some songs I like off the first album. Like there's a couple, but that first album, yeah, that one can go.
Damn, that's interesting.
The second album, I dig a lot more.
Yeah.
There's maybe one or two songs that I'm like, I could have did better.
There
on
was
that.
one song that did not make the album that Mateo absolutely hates. It's called Prerogative.
Oh man, and it wasn't even like my own writing. I didn't like what the band was playing. I'm
Yeah.
like, this sounds like Eeyore is walking through the forest, depressed about to shoot himself.
But okay, so between the band then, like with you guys, is there shit that you guys like, songs that you guys have that you're kind of iffy on, or is it like since you guys are creating the music, you guys are all like on the same page with it?
Wait, can you repeat that?
Is there songs that you guys don't like because you guys are making the music? Is there songs that you guys don't like, or is it really just more of like, no, we like everything, and like maybe the only thing you guys have issues with is maybe like his lyrics or something?
No, there's certain songs that we don't like for certain reasons.
Yeah, like
Okay.
even Tyler's like, oh, I played that guitar part, or Javon's like, these drums are, It's
I feel
mostly the
that.
first album.
I feel that though. I get
Yeah.
that. I mean, I think it's maturity. You guys are more mature now. Like you guys are gonna be making more mature
Definitely.
music.
And the first album was just a hodgepodge of whatever we were coming up with.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's interesting, man. I'm glad that you guys have like, you guys are humble enough to even say that, because I feel like a lot of artists would probably like not do that. You know what I'm saying? Like they
I
wouldn't.
like all of it.
They wouldn't admit that.
Right.
Yeah, they would just lie. You know what I'm saying?
there's no reason to.
No.
There isn't. Yeah.
Because there's sometimes, like back in the day, we'd have to perform those songs, and I'm like, ugh, like on the outside, I'm like, yeah, let's get it, and then inside, I'm like, this is horrible. What are we doing right now? But it's we grew a lot from the first album to the second album, Riptide.
Yeah, being more picky, selective, and things like that.
Yeah. And even the second album, it came together like it was beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, it just meshed, and we've seen the growth. You know.
You guys are probably working on shit right now too, right? Like new music and recording and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
We still have a lot of singles to throw out.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure we can say this. You know, we're gonna start.
Trust me, we don't have a big following.
I mean, but that's not good. And of course, we're gonna share it and stuff too. But yeah, we're gonna start working on a new album, most likely fall,
Nice.
like actual album. So
Damn. So we'll definitely do this again because I have a lot more questions.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
like even based off of that.
do you have more right now?
Yeah. I mean, I just don't want to hold you up
No,
for time.
go ahead.
Okay. So like,
Yeah.
based off of that, for example, like do you find that with like the way that people's attention span is now, do you find that it's better to just release singles and not really like release albums?
That's what we talked about. That's why we're doing the single route right now.
Mhm.
We've been doing singles since like middle of last year. We dropped The Blast and then Icy Red, and we still have more, you know. But we want to do an album for us to see what it'll sound like now.
Yeah.
Like these one-off singles, they're not like whatever tracks and just throw them out, but it's like, this sounds dope. We can put it out quick, get some plays on it, run it.
So it won't be part of the album.
Right.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
like, have you guys heard of Wand, the band Wand?
Mm-mm.
They're from California, and they just
Isn't that like parts of Tame Impala?
no.
Oh.
Oh, no. That's Pond. Yes. No, Wand is they just released a new album called Laughing Matter, and the way they released it was they were releasing a song a day, like almost like a single a day kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's interesting because like that makes sense. Like that's kind of like what SoundCloud rappers do, right? Where they kind of like release music like just like a song. Like I don't know how often they usually do it, but
a lot.
But
Yeah,
they're not really
yeah.
like putting out full albums. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that kind of like no one's really doing that anymore.
Yeah, the albums are dead unless you have a following, you know, a big following, like you're a national act for
Yeah.
the most part. But we're doing this mainly for us.
Yeah.
We talked about doing an EP, just like 5 songs, but we want to see what a full length will sound like. And it's way smarter to do singles and EPs right now.
Well, you're still gonna do that though.
yeah,
You're doing
yeah.
both, which
but it's just, you know, the album's for us,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, that makes sense.
So and it just takes so long to do an album, and it's money.
How long generally do you guys take on it?
Probably like a little over a year.
Yeah.
With everything, like writing it, mixing it, mastering it, all that shit?
Yeah.
And coming back, it's like there's certain parts of a song. It's like, oh man,
Yeah.
we're literally just hearing each other for the first time. Because usually when we're practicing and working on material, it's a small space. It's a lot of noise,
Right.
Mhm.
and it's like everything kind of gets lost. So it's like, wow. So you were saying that this whole time?
Yeah, most of them, they didn't even know what I was saying until we went to the studio.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah,
were playing the
that's-
songs for like a year.
Yeah.
That's usually how that.
That happens to me too with Kenny when he like some of his songs. Like I'll be like, oh, that's what you're saying there. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't
Like,
that crazy?
It's
like we're
weird.
so close. Like,
yeah, it's weird. It's
I
a
played
weird.
that song in front of you like 10 times, dude. Really? Like, no, I had no idea.
oh, you're talking about that?
I
That's
actually,
crazy.
I even noticed that shit with the drums and Emmett's bass parts. Like, I don't know about you, Brian, but like, there's sometimes on the recordings, I'm like, oh, that's what you're playing there. Like, because usually, like, if I'm singing, I'm not paying attention to like everything else. I'm kind of
Right.
focusing on what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, do
Exactly.
you find that yourself? Like,
There's actually a funny story about that. So we had a song called It Continues, and there was like this whole bass solo, and I'm like thinking in my head, yo, this sounds so awesome. And Tyler and Kevon are like listening to it on the recording, it's like, dude, this doesn't make any sense at all. It's like, we're gonna have to rewrite everything. I was like, no!
dude, we just did that. I just had that experience with Emmett on a bass part. He was just playing the wrong note. Like, he was just playing the wrong
What
fucking
song?
note for shame. And I'm like, dude, you're playing a minor there. You need to be playing a major. He's like, I've been playing that for months now. I'm like, fuck. But
That's crazy.
yeah, but it's just like literally a half step down, and it was right, and it was just hilarious. I'm just like, no, man, you've been playing that wrong the whole time. But it's hard to hear shit on the bass sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Not with
just
this
like,
guy.
That's true too,
Guy's a
actually. Yeah.
rumbler.
Yeah, but since you got, well, I guess with the keys though, technically he's filling up that role as well. But I was gonna say because it's just kind, it's more of like a 3-piece, but not really. It's not really a 3-piece.
Right.
Yeah, because he's doing keys. So
Yeah,
which is dope. I'm glad I got to see you guys with him because I don't think before I had seen him with you guys.
I don't think
before.
so.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think then that was kind of the last question I had for you guys. I really appreciate you guys coming on and talking.
No problem, y'all the
Appreciate you
homies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to go back up there, man, and fucking either play, visit, whatever it is.
Let us know. We can get you a show easy.
Yeah, I need to get you a gig down in Miami, bro. I mean, I don't know if I can get one like that would curtail to your genre, but I could probably.
All I know
find
is
something.
Gramps.
Yeah, Gramps is cool.
Churchill's, yeah.
Churchill's would probably make most sense, but
They have bands like you guys all the time.
yeah.
They
You ever
post
heard of a
videos.
Miami band called Bloodbather?
No.
They came to Crowbar and they were nasty.
Yeah.
What kind of music?
Hardcore, disgusting. Yeah. Yeah, it was just dope. I think there was like a chick in the band. The vocalist was black. He had dreads. And I think the guitarist was Latino.
Huh.
So it was dope. They were nasty.
Yeah, that's actually funny too. Is like a lot like when we just brought up Las Nubes from Miami, and you kind of realize like, oh wait, all these bands are gonna be Hispanic. Like they look, I guess like they speak English and all that shit, but then you realize, oh no, these aren't white people. These are fucking because like you meet so many white people. Like I met Jordan, fucking Emmett. Like they're just white people, and you're just like,
Yeah.
that's not really.
They're just white people.
There's a difference, man. I'm sorry. There's a
Yeah.
difference.
Because when I met y'all, I never thought y'all were white.
You didn't think so? Most people think we're white when they first meet us.
Maybe you. I have the nose.
That's true.
She said maybe you.
That's true.
I mean, yeah,
actually.
you more than her.
Yeah.
She looks more ethnic, but
Yeah. I have to say the story on this podcast because it fucking makes me laugh every time I think about it.
do it.
Dude, so the first time I met Bryant,
Oh yeah.
we were I think at the Crowbar, and Kenny was working with you at Converse at the time.
Okay.
We had like a dope conversation at fucking Crowbar. I see him maybe like a few months later or something, and I walk up to him like, hey, what's up, man? Dude, we have like a 30-minute conversation. It's so dope. And he's like, yeah, it was nice to meet you afterwards.
Oh, so it was him the whole time.
Yeah.
I've heard this story. I didn't know it was you. Oh, that's great.
And I'm like, dude, you don't remember me? He's like, oh yeah, you're Kenny's friend. I'm like, god damn it, bro. That show was it's so funny, man. It's so easy to talk to you, bro. Like I legit thought you remembered me. Like that's like we had like I think he was like giving me advice about the band and shit. He was giving me like advice on music and stuff. I'm like, oh man, thank you. Like I really like thinking he knew like that I was in House of I. Nope, he had no idea. That's cool though that you're that nice of a person though.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's so funny. But let's end it on that one then, guys. Again, appreciate you so much, and
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
tagging the social medias and all that stuff, your album, any of that stuff. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Deuces.
Later.
Trees swaying in the wind. Genesis to remember this. When to begin? When did we begin? System override. Safe to stress. Take a breath to swim over high. Tidal waves of passion smashing your brain. All you hear is water in your ears to complain. Hold steady and realize where you're at. Once you get caught, there is no turning back.